Hey guys, welcome back to Honey Rock. I'm Sophie, and this is Aspen.
Hello.
We're back, better than ever.
Mhm.
You guys probably missed us, and we missed you.
A lot.
What's that from? Is that a thing?
I have
We missed
no
us,
idea.
and we missed you. Okay, well, that might not be a thing.
Now it is.
So Aspen was in London studying abroad this semester, and she's back.
I'm back.
And we're just thankful that she's back. She learned a lot. She grew a lot. You looked cute.
Thanks.
You just looked like a little travel influencer. What was the coolest place you went? Because she went some weekend trips.
Yes. My favorite place was probably at the end of the program. My family stayed longer, and we went to Austria. We went to Vienna and Salzburg, and we did this whole Sound of Music tour, and it was epic because
so
Sound of
cool.
Music is one of my favorite movies.
That's so cool.
So it was just beautiful, and the weather was perfect. So
That's so perfect.
it was awesome.
Are you liking the sunshine here now?
Yes.
Is it cloudy?
I'm very thankful for that. Yeah, but it's probably good. My skin was a little burnt. It needed a break.
That's okay.
I came back and I just kept sitting outside, and then I kept getting so burnt because I was so pale.
And you were just so excited to be in the
But
sun.
it's good to be in the sun.
Do you want to give us a British accent or no?
It's a little hard under pressure, but
I know. I'm just nervous.
what do you want me to say?
I don't know. Say, hey guys. Say,
hiya. It's lovely to be back in the United States. I missed it dearly, but it was fun to be across the pond for a little bit.
That was good.
That's my attempt.
You I guess had a lot of fun to practice.
I did.
Okay, tell us what you did there.
Okay, so basically,
quick little overview.
Yeah, really fast. Basically, I studied, so I took 2 classes. Well, basically one class with my dad, who was the Furman professor, and then we had a part-time internship, and then I had 2 other classes at the program there. So I just had 3 random classes, and then my internship was at a little primary school, so basically an elementary school, and I was with year 1, and they were 5 and 6 years old, and they were so cute.
So cute.
They called me Miss Aspen. That's what they called me.
Oh yeah, that's adorable.
They were perfect, and actually sometimes they were really annoying, but they were really cute.
Fair.
And my teacher was funny, so that's what I did. I traveled and I studied and I went to my school.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say that it was really hard.
Yes.
You'll be the first to admit.
I will.
And you also said it was sweet, good things came from it.
But
what do you think initially made it hard?
I think that the hardest part, especially at the beginning, is coming from a school like Furman, and I know that there's good community at every school, but at Furman I have just this amazing community of friends and SCA and really just everyone.
Yeah.
To go from such good community all the time to being by myself all the time was really hard, and so I think that I learned at the beginning a lot what it looks like to be stripped of everything comfortable to be shown what's truly valuable. And it was just hard because I've always been super dependable upon my parents and my sisters and my friends, and I think that community is one of the biggest gifts, but it's something that's so easy to idolize. And I often find myself I just have to keep myself in check of okay, I need to make sure I'm going to the Lord before I go to my friends, and I need to value the Lord's desires for me and stuff, and before I just go with what my friends think is best.
Right.
So going from, and I had some friends there, and I knew there was there were 16 Furman students there, but even just I don't know, I am used to living in a dorm and being with someone all the time, and now I have my own room.
Right.
And I have 4 other random girls from around the US who are studying abroad, and so it was just different too. And I'm not gonna lie, the sun set at 3:45 when I first got there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I don't remember what time the sun rose, maybe 9, but it was hard for it to be dark all the time and to be alone a lot, and it was freezing cold. So it was just kind of okay, what does it look like now that I'm by myself? all the time, and I don't have this community
Right.
that I have been super dependable on.
Right.
So yeah, that was like why that was one of the reasons it was
Right.
really hard, I think.
I like how you said, like, when you're stripped of everything comfortable, you realize what's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it is so, and I feel like probably in America, life is so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's comfort all around us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really hard to imagine a life where we're not comfortable. But then when you're stripped of that, it's like, okay, so what am I actually depending on?
Right.
Like, am I depending on all my friends? Am I depending on these foods I'm eating? Am I depending on literally everything here? Or am I actually depending on the Lord?
Right.
And sometimes He just has to strip all of that from us to make us realize. And that's so hard.
It's so hard, and I hated it.
Yeah.
But then it turned into a sweet thing, I think, just
Right.
because I did learn like the importance and value of like filling my cup up daily and like depending on Him, and just the fact that like I think I talked about this kind of last time I was on here of just like what a friend we have in Jesus, but like that He literally has like prepared a way for me, and like he's never gonna leave me. And I think the first Sunday I was there, I was at church, and it was just like crazy to me because I knew, like, it's easy to say like, okay, yes, like the Lord's everywhere, He's got like, you know, He's holding this whole world in His hands, he's everywhere, and like it's true. But then I was like over somewhere totally new, like I didn't know where I was living, I had to figure out all the public transportation and everything, and thank goodness they speak English there, because I can't imagine if they didn't. That would have been really hard. And like I was at church and we're like singing and worshiping, and I was like, oh my gosh, like literally the same God that I worship in Greenville, South Carolina is the same God that all these people that I have no idea who any of them are, but we are all worshiping the same God. And that's just like so beautiful. And it, especially in like such a huge city, that like coming from the South, you know, we're in the Bible Belt, everyone goes to church on Sunday, like everyone knows. And then there, like, I mean, heck, I could do anything I wanted. No one knows what I believe, and no one's stopping me, and there's no one to hold me accountable if I'm not telling anyone what's truly going on. So I don't know, it's just cool to learn like, oh my gosh, He literally is the same God in London as He is in Greenville, as He is in like Africa, and it, like everywhere, literally everywhere. Yeah. So that was a cool thing too.
That's so cool. I experienced a little bit of that when I was in the Dominican, and we were at a church, and they were like worshiping, and they were speaking like Haitian or something. And I was just like, this is actually crazy. Like, you're not serving anything else. You're actually serving the same God I serve. You're talking to the same God I serve. And it was just like so eye opening. And then it really is like the verse in Revelation where it's like every tribe, tongue, and nation.
Yes.
It's like,
that's the verse that I thought of when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh.
This is what exactly, like, that's so amazing. And then how much more is it going to be when we're all standing around the throne?
Goodness, yes.
I just like can't wait.
You know.
Okay, you have your notes last. So you can tell us what you learned, what was hard, and just like, you know.
Okay. Well, I think like a big thing was just like the community and stuff, but I kept this like notes app running when I was there of like little phrases that like I would just think of and that the Lord revealed to me, and whether that was through like friends telling me something or something at church, or I don't know, just reading my Bible and thinking. Anyways, I love it. So I think that the main thing was just kind of what I said earlier, but I think one of the first, so there's two other, I think, main things that I would say. Yeah. And the first one is that I was on, who was I talking to? Avery. I was talking to Avery on FaceTime. And I was just telling her about everything that was hard, the like temptations that were hard, all of it. And I wanted to come home and I hated it there. And she was like, Aspen, like she just gave me these words of encouragement, and she said, the Lord doesn't give me strength, He becomes my strength. And so I think that I hadn't really learned the difference of like, yes, like I can ask the Lord for strength, but like what's sweeter is that like if I allow Him, He becomes my strength. Like I am not like, He's not just giving me strength, like I am only strong because of Him. And like when like I want to give in to these temptations, like when it was tempting like to like want to go out and like do things there, because that's what everyone does. Like it's cold outside, it's dark at 4 p.m. Like what am I supposed to do once it's dark? I don't know. I don't want to just sit in my room all night. And is that, I don't know, there was a lot of feeling like I wasn't experiencing the typical, like a broad experience that I was supposed to be experiencing. Like I felt pressured of like, and I think a lot of it was pressure I was putting on myself, but just from like knowing other people's abroad experiences and like seeing other people like, oh, like, so I'm not actually experiencing abroad correctly if I'm not doing all these things.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing that I talked to her about.
I even feel that in college.
Oh my gosh,
like just being here or like whatever season of life people are listening to, it's like you have these expectations of what you think that season of life is supposed to look like. And if you feel like you're not doing it all, then you feel like you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
But that's when we're like striving.
Right.
It's like we're striving for approval. We're striving to earn love.
Right.
We're striving to be good enough. We're striving to have fun. When we really can just rest.
Yeah. So I think that was hard, but then it was sweet because I think those nights especially were the nights that like I felt the closest with the Lord, even when it was the hardest. That's because so cool. I was like, well, I'm here for other reasons, and I may not know them, but maybe this is why, to learn this and be here on a Friday night in my room at 8 p.m. by myself.
Right.
So,
well, and like him becoming your strength is relying on him.
Right.
Like if it's like he's giving us strength, it's like, okay, thanks, like that helped a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like Jesus becoming our strength is like fully relying on him. Yeah. Not what we can do.
Right. And I think that carried over to like just all aspects of being abroad, like saying no to doing things by myself, like learn just everything, like being like interactions with people, and all of it. But and then another thing I think I would say is one of my other friends sent me this voice note at the very beginning of the semester, and it was just hard at first because I wanted to go home. And she was saying that like she was like, I know it's hard and it's going to be hard, and it might be hard every single day that you're there, and you might want to come home every single day that you're there, but if the Lord wants you in London, then you want to be in London, because how sweet is it that if he wants you there, then he's going to be there with you, so therefore like I want to be there.
Right.
And so I think that actually changed my perspective of like, because I think if it's easy to question like, oh, why am I supposed to be here, like why right. But instead like, okay, like I am here and he wants me here, so what can I learn from this, and who can I serve in this season and stuff. And so that was a big thing of like, okay, like the Lord truly is like calling me here, and like he is here with me and he wants me here, so if he wants me here, I'm gonna want to be here.
Right. Caroline literally
Caroline said that
the other day.
Really?
But not that exact thing. So I was like saying something to her, and I was like, not like discontent, but almost like sort of discontent with the season of life.
Yeah. And
thinking that next season will take away struggles that I face right now, when it's like each season's gonna come with a struggle of its own. Like, okay, abroad there was a struggle of abroad itself, but in the fall there's gonna be a completely different struggle in itself.
Yeah.
Like you're home from abroad, this is a different struggle than you were in abroad. Like we're always gonna be facing these struggles, but I just for some reason in my head was like, if I just skipped ahead to the next season, then what I'm struggling with right now won't be a thing. It's like, sure, this won't be a thing, but something else will be. Right. And so I was like, it almost seems like the grass is greener, but I know I don't believe in that saying.
Yeah.
And that's when she was like, well, the grass is greener where you water it.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, okay, like that's so true, because it's like, be where your feet are, and if this is where the Lord has placed you right now, then be fully into it. Like, pour into it fully. Dive into God's word. See what he has to say there. Like, look around you. See who you can serve. Like, I like how you said that. Just like be fully intentional in that season, because that's where he has you. And you're gonna get from it what you put into it. And I think sometimes I like try to hold myself back a little bit from certain things because I'm afraid I'm gonna get hurt or something's gonna happen. And my youth pastor was like, Sophie, like what you put into this is what you're gonna get out of this, so why would you not just try fully? Right. And I was like, okay, true. So I like that. And I think that's just like so clear, like wherever we are, like whatever season of life you're in, whatever you're going through, it's like, okay, the grass is greener where you're gonna water it,
right?
And if this is where the Lord has you, then what a gift it is to be there. Like I want to be where the Lord's presence is and where he's calling me to be, so let's be there.
Yeah.
Not wish to be somewhere else.
Right. But it's so easy to do that.
So easy.
I think a lot of these are kind of all the same.
I'm reading one of them. It says, my circumstances are changing, yet he remains the same. And I think that goes back to something I learned, and something I wrote in, like, Oh Honey, a lot was that, like, God's goodness isn't just defined by my circumstances. And I think that's just, like, so clear that he remains the same. And our circumstances are always going to be changing.
Yeah.
And once we start defining him by our circumstances, that's not based off of a fact, that's based off a situation. And I should be basing his character off of what his word says, which is true.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. I don't know why.
There's a big dog.
There's a dog over there.
We're just sitting in a little parking lot.
Anyways.
Also, that girl has walked by 3 times.
Yeah, I noticed that. Sorry. Anyways,
if you guys are wondering.
I can't see her, but
car talk. We're like YouTubers right now.
Yeah, we kind of are.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. Oh, another thing that I wrote down, or like a line I had, was that I can be at peace because I rest in the hands of my Creator. And so, like, no matter where I am, like, it might feel like my world's being turned upside down, or it might seem like an ordinary day. Like, wherever I am, like, I can be at peace because, like, I rest in His hands. And, like, I think a lot at the beginning, living in the city was also part of what was hard. Like, I'm just not a city girl.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love Greenville. I love areas like Greenville. Me too. And being in the city's crazy because it's like I was never really alone. Like, I was alone. The only times I was truly alone all by myself was in my room at night. But, like, even when I would take the tube, like, I had to take the tube to get like an hour to get to my internship. Twice a week. But, like, there's like so many other people on the tube with me. Like, I'm crammed up against next people, or maybe I'm sitting down. Sometimes it's less busy. All that to say, like, it's just like there's so much going on. 10 million people live in that city. Like, it's huge.
Golly.
And so I think, like, when I would like get overwhelmed and just feel like everything was horrible and I was overstimulated and just wanted to be like by myself, but I also would sometimes get sad when I'd go home and be like truly by myself. And so I would just imagine, like, Lord, like, holding me in one hand, like, and like, well, he had like one arm around my shoulder, and then, like, it was either around my shoulder or like holding my hand. You know what I'm saying? So it was different, but like guiding me through the city and knowing that, like, I can be at peace because he's literally holding my hand wherever I go. And so, yeah, that's kind of like, I guess, the main idea of everything we're talking about is that he's with you always. But that was like sweet because sometimes it was hard to picture that, but it's like a mindset. You have to choose. Like, I can choose to be sad, and I can choose to be overwhelmed, and I can choose to, like, just want to go home and, like, count down the days till I get to come home. Or I can choose to, like what you were saying earlier, like, water where, how did you say that?
Water the grass where your feet are planted.
Yeah,
something
like
that.
Make it green, you know?
The grass is greener where you water it.
Yeah, that's what I knew it said something about being green. And so, yeah, that, like, I can choose to, like, ask, like, receive the peace that he offers, and, like, know that he's, like, guiding me.
Yeah.
And he's literally already gone before me.
Yeah.
In the city wherever I go.
Yeah. It's like shifting your perspective.
Yeah.
I last summer, that makes me think of, so last summer I was like, well, one of my friends, she still's my friend, but last summer, like, this huge thing we kept talking about was, like, shifting her perspective, and she had just walked through a really hard season of loss with her family, and her whole thing was, like, shifting the perspective of what you're walking through. It's like, you can't bring that person back.
Right.
Like, that's already happened, and we're rejoicing that he's in heaven, but the hardships already happened, and so how can we shift our perspective of this? It's like easy to be like, I lost this, and I don't have this anymore, and I don't have this anymore, and I want to be home, and I want to do this, and I want to see this person, I want to, but it's like, okay, well, that's not what is happening right now, and you can't really change it, so how about we just shift the perspective of being like, okay, you know, losing this person was really hard, but I'm learning what it looks like to depend on the Lord, or being in a new city for this amount of time without my community feels really lonely, but the Lord is my friend, and he's my father, and he wants to hear from me. So I think it's cool.
Yeah. It was cool.
Last thing I want to say, because I was reading your notes app again.
Oh, yeah.
Over your little shoulder there, it said, he is so worthy of all my praise, even when it's hard. And I learned that in, like, January when my aunt passed away. Was just like, he's still worthy of my praise. And it was just like honestly like revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I was like at this conference like the weekend after she passed away, and I felt like every song they were singing was talking about worthy, and he's worthy of this and he's worthy of this, and I was just like in awe because it was like, whoa, like he is like, even if this happened and even though this happens, he's still worthy of my praise. And in the darkest of moments and in the sweet moments and in the hard, like in all of it,
yeah,
he is worthy of my praise because of who he is.
Right.
Like his character and what Jesus did on the cross deserves all of our praise. And I think that's just like so interesting that we learned that same thing in like different situations, but it still holds the same weight of like,
right,
he's worthy of our praise in Greenville, he's worthy of our praise in London, and he's worthy of our praise wherever we are, because he's God. Right. That's what Emmy always, when she prays, she always says like, at FCA we also just ate lunch with Emmy. Hey Emmy, I told you I would shout you out.
Oh yeah, we did.
She always says, thank you for who you are and what you've done to Jesus when she prays, and I think that's just really sweet. Like, I'm thanking you, Jesus, and I'm praising you because of who you are and what you've done, and that's enough. Like, you don't have to make my situation right here comfortable, or you don't have to make everything come true of my dreams. Like, you already done enough on the cross.
Right. Even when all else feels horrible, he's worthy of our praise.
Yeah.
Because...
Okay, if somebody's traveling to London, where would you tell them to go?
Oh, that's so hard because London is the biggest city ever in the world, way bigger than I ever thought. But like just
New York
the town
on steroids.
Yeah, it's basically New York with a British accent.
Okay, so like where I was. So I went to London over spring break and I got to see
we got to hang out.
Like, okay, here, do you want to what comes to my mind first?
Yes, please tell me.
Big Ben.
Borough Market.
Borough Market. What was the one that was cute that I got the jacket at?
Oh, you have to go to Notting Hill. How did I forget?
Notting Hill.
Notting Hill is my favorite place in the whole entire world.
It was so cute.
It's so cute. If you haven't seen the movie, it's kind of like the movie. Like, it's just like, well, anyways. It's a really cute neighborhood. They have like Portobello Red Market, and like they just have shops and you just shop, and it's just really cute, and the houses are colorful, and it just feels like a neighborhood, not like a huge city.
Right.
So like Notting Hill is perfect.
Cool.
But Big Ben, I agree. Like you just have to see it. It just feels like, wow, so London.
Right. We did this like Ferris wheel thing.
The London Eye.
The London Eye. And that was cool because you just got to see a lot at once.
Yeah, that's true. I never did that.
The guards.
Yeah, the changing the guards.
That was
you go to
like
Buckingham Palace. You feel like royal. These are like the
the church. What was the church that I went to?
St. Paul's.
Was that the one where the it was a Catholic church, and it's where the coronation of the kings and queens happened?
Westminster Abbey.
Yes.
Westminster Abbey. Not Westminster Abbey. Westminster.
That kind of sounded right. I'm gonna be honest.
It's Westminster.
Something.
It's like Parliament and all of that, like, because it's all connected.
Yep.
Big Ben, Westminster. Anyways, okay, that's horrible. I forget what it's called, but
well, I was just yelling. I asked you the question, and then I was yelling everywhere I went. We had a picnic in a park. That was perfect.
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part of the city. Was all the parks. St. James Park is like a park right near. It's kind of near like Trafalgar Square and Big Ben, but then also like at the end of it is Buckingham Palace. And it was just so happy in the springtime, and there were flowers everywhere, and the trees started to bloom right when I left. But the parks were really great.
So those are all the touristy areas.
Yeah, and the chocolate strawberries from Borough Market that you see on like online and stuff, they actually will change your life.
And that donut?
I got them. Oh yeah, that was also the other best thing I ever ate. There's this place called Rodeo Donuts, and they have the best donut in the whole world. It's like this big.
I've never had something like that before.
Like normally,
it was life changing.
Like it was magical. It was like a normal donut, but then the icing was just perfect, and then it had cookie dough and brownie on it.
I also had a Nutella one. I had two when I was there.
You had a Nutella one too? I never had that one.
It was Nutella and Oreos. I'm a big Nutella girl.
What? Me too. Yeah. Wait, I have one more thing to tell everyone.
Okay, please.
My song of the semester.
I love a song of the semester.
I actually have two.
Okay.
But I can't remember the name of the second one, so I'm finding it. But the first one is Lean Back. You know that song? It's like, I'm not going to sing it for everyone.
Lean Back, we'll look it up.
It's like, I'm deciding if I try to sing it.
Just say like a line or two.
The line that I really like is when it's like, I will lean back in your loving arms.
Oh.
Good. Yeah, you know that one? Yeah.
Of a good
and
father.
Then, get my reasons. Don't say that out loud. What's the song? Good Grace.
Good Grace is so
and my
good.
favorite line of it is when it's just like, God is madly in love with you.
Yes.
That line.
That's
Anyways,
so good.
Those were my 2 songs of the semester. I listen to them all the time, and I would recommend that you listen to them.
My favorite thing, because me and Aspen like texted almost every day when she was
pretty
gone.
much all the time.
And we would send songs back and forth, mainly her sending me songs because I'm a song copier, not a song finder. And I would just listen to any song she gave me, add it to my playlist, and it was like perfect. So if you need to like keep in contact with somebody when you miss internet, just sing them a song.
Yeah.
Sing them a song. Voice memos work, FaceTime also works.
It's true.
And then you just back together, and then you're just like, all is well in the world. The grass is greener where you water it. Thanks for listening.
Mic drop.
Boom. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on, sharing your experience.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just glad you're back.
Me too.
It's cool to learn from you. I feel like all these things that you said, like these little tidbits, can go for anyone in any season of life.
Yeah, it's true. It's not
learning that like he
anywhere.
becomes our strength, and that like when we're uncomfortable, we can depend on him, and he remains good all the time. Mm-hmm. All these things.
All of them
are really good for us just to keep in mind in any season of life. So thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Thanks. Thank you
for having me on the podcast. Just, guys, like 2 weeks ago, I also wore this same shirt.
Also, last time I was on the podcast, I also wore overalls.
So I promise I have other clothes, and I promise I washed them.
That's it.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.